What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Jisk One.
Yo, what's happening?
I have Mr. Robert Detoff.
Hello.
I have Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
And tonight we're going to continue with the collection critiques. Please check your feelings at the door. There's no place for them here, and they're not welcome. We're going to start tonight with Nick. Now, Nick has something interesting going on. It's a new display that we haven't quite seen before, and it's called, if you look at the last photo, it's called The Staircase. The Staircase. It's also called the end of Mario Brothers Level 1.
I'm in my head. I'm hearing doom, 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 doom.
Here's what's good about this. He's got those detoffs off the floor, and the detoffs are lit. So he is a step ahead of the game.
I feel like this is the new normal. This is just called the new normal.
It's not, though. It's not, and you and I both know it because we've seen plenty that haven't gotten this far. Now, here's the problem. He's got room up top for his Bruticus and his Devastator, and then he realized the Omegas don't fit, and he was pissed. I know he was pissed. I can feel it from here.
Oh, you don't think they fit on top?
Correct.
Oh,
You can fit things by posing in them.
Yeah, he'd have to pose them.
put them in goddess pose.
I'm telling you that that's why they're not up there.
Bobby, do you see which front? What is top center?
Because yours doesn't fit up there either, right?
Correct. It doesn't. Oh, that's the Beast Wars thing, right?
Why does he have that in the place of honor?
Because he doesn't have any other place for Beast. Oh yeah, he does have Beast Wars stuff. All right, here's my advice looking at this. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 detoffs.
You need 8.
So you either get 8 and figure out something to do with the Omegas, or you move 3 all the way over to the right. You split up the 2, and then you build something or have something to replace the middle section that can store the bigger bots, and you split up the detoffs with that. And I think that will
little best of
That's
wall.
a good idea.
And I think that will actually fix that problem.
That's
and
a very
not
good idea.
and not look as mind numbing.
Correct.
You know me. Don't put in front of your window.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rule number 1.
He's in a
What's
tight
up?
spot here, though, man.
Well, then you got to black out the back. You have to block out the back.
Okay,
just
that's
take
fair.
care. I know this. I'm saying this is a loose term. Take care of your investment. I know it's not really an investment, but the sunlight, even peeking through the sides, is gonna eat away at that.
On Phoenix, it's
Especially.
on his white figures. He's got a dead center on the window. That's a rebel right there. I don't know. If you look closer, right? So we're basically giving advice on the general layout.
Yes.
But again, he's also fallen prey to the typical issue at a detoff. You see the mini bots and wheelie; they're all taking 1/3,
Yep.
1/4
Yep.
of the vertical space.
Yep. And just
And then
standing.
you got the Autobots on the left. Yeah.
Standing row to row, front to back. You need to get risers. You need to lift some of them up. And you also need to pose these figures.
And if you're gonna, I don't do lighting. I'm not judging you, but I would think if you're doing lighting and you're gonna have your really nice combiners on top, you've got to have some type of lighting above them.
I think the detoffs. The Northflies do look great up on top of detoffs. But look at this, the Dinobot shelves, Slag, Grimlock, and the Windblade Deco thing from Fans Hobby, all arms down, legs down, heads forward. We're here to go to work.
Wings down.
What time do we clock in? It's my first day of school. And then if you look below that, it's Snarl, Swoop, and Sludge, and they're all all right, time to get on the bus. Me first. I'll get in line. Single file. Fire drill. It's like a fire drill, and they're all lining up to get out of the house. That could be fixed with some risers and some posing.
I think, Nick, you're at that point where you've got all your figures. You've kind of followed the general blueprint. Yeah, of all right, this is what I do to display it. It's time for you to go, okay, this is the space I have. Now you have to just run it. You have to pave your own way now. That's specific to your space and the stuff that you've got.
Yep.
It's time to upgrade your display, but in a way that fits that room. If that's going to be your permanent room, measure it out, research all your cabinet options.
Yep.
Get some some graph paper.
Yep, I'm a big fan of graph paper.
Yeah. Now, I just remember being in that exact same space, having the same setup real close to it and being all right, it's not right now. I have to kind of customize it. So, and it's what he's got isn't bad. It's just now it's time. It's time to make it shine.
Agreed.
Well, if you put something in front of that window, it's still asymmetrical. Is that corner workable where he can put this display around in the corner?
I think you can work around the window. I wouldn't take away the natural light source. I think you just have to get creative with it. You got to work around it.
It's hard to say without seeing what he has available. But if this was literally the only wall, my recommendation is move 3 detoffs all the way to the right, build something for the middle piece to display your larger bots, put lights at the top, and pose and rise your figures. That one front shelf that Robert was talking about in particular is like painfully obvious of what you got going on there, where it's like all mini bots on the top shelf, and you can't see anything but the ones in the first row: Wind Charger, Pipes, Wheelie, and that guy that nobody knows who he is, Outback.
I also think if you don't mind blocking that window, dude, then just don't even use details. Just get something else to block it. Like switch to the Besta or switch to the Billy, but just switch to something you're not going to see that window at all.
Yeah.
I also think you could run the curtain, like a curtain or a curtain rod.
Oh, all the way across
the
there.
wall.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the next one. I think we've taken this one to the furthest extent. This is Nick. This guy, I'll be honest, his photography, it's really hard to figure out what's going on.
Well, it looks like he started some dios, huh?
Yeah. The stuff that he's doing with the Joes and looks promising. Like he's got he's working on dioramas. They're obviously not done because it's still pink foam, right? So he's still working on them. Like you can see the little barrel in front of Storm Shadow. He's got like a fire effect in there, so he's taking it seriously. He's got the American flag behind the other Joes. Like that little shelf, he's working on something that looks good.
His details look good.
They do look good. And they backed out the back. But I gotta go back. Like, and I gotta mention it, man. What's up with the cheese grater in the Crown Royal?
Oh yeah, there is a cheese grater up there.
Is it that's known as cheese grater?
Steve, what are you doing, man?
On the Billy.
And then also, like, that whole shelf scares me only because of the chalkboard next to it. So there's little kids that just like chill there. I'm assuming on the daily, which makes me nervous.
On the reg,
you are wrong.
I do know Nick, so I think that there's hope for his dioramas. The shelves that are Billy's that are not dioramas, like his Optimus Prime shelf, it's too much. It's too much. It's too busy. And then he's got all this stuff down at the bottom with like books and a mug and all that nonsense.
A Bumblebee mug?
But he might be like you in that he has a few working shelves.
Which is fine, but you submitted these as like critique it.
Yeah, well, he's starting.
So I'm starting to critique them. And I would say that you got to sort those out. But oddly enough, your details look pretty good.
Guess what, Bobby? What do you see in the back of those details?
The black.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what else, though.
Difference.
But like, look at like...
You're welcome.
The first shelf with Prime and all of them on the trailer, he uses the trailer as a riser to get the other guys up higher, and it looks fine. The second one down, he's got 4 little ones and 1 big one, and that looks good. Then the third one with Grimlock... Mirage,
a little tight.
You can't see him.
Yeah.
There's another guy behind Mirage. You can't see him either.
I'm not sure why
that's G2 sideswipe. That's because it's G2 sideswipe.
Now the one, he doesn't care about G2 sideswipe, and then the one down below that with Ultra Magnus and Hot Rod along with Daniel, that looks great. That's
CDs.
Yeah,
DVDs.
with the DVDs, that looks great. Now his other shelf with the Decepticons, like he's got a Soundwave up on a riser. He's trying to take advantage of the vertical space, like his details, oddly enough, for as kind of crazy as some of his Billy shelves look, his details are some of the better ones we've seen.
This is some good.
Yeah, they're nice.
Now I like the vertical lighting as opposed to the lighting.
Yeah, I do too.
Tops.
I do too. It's like lit across like the spine of it.
I have mixed feelings about it, but I don't hate it.
To getting those details is like, I'm just gonna say this now. Like everybody, like if you can, stop buying details. They're not the way to go for Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could see the top of the detail display a little better because it looks kind of interesting.
You could do a detail for Transformers. You just can't do your entire Transformers collection in details.
Or you gotta break it up.
Yeah, like if you have like Bestas that are lit, we've seen a number of things. Bookcases that are lit, white bookcases with books and stuff and Transformers, and then you have one detail that's got like a couple Transformers in it that looks purposeful, fills the space, occupies it properly. Like that looks fine. But it's when it's just wall-to-wall glass with wall-to-wall bots, and it all looks the same. It looks boring, it looks sloppy, and it doesn't look like something of value, you know? But like this is one of the better ones we've seen.
Okay, but now, really quick, now that you got the detail display looks so good, do you think that curtain is distracting?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I think he's got to change his curtain option there. It's a nice curtain, but you got to go to it looks like a shower. It looks like somebody's showering.
It does look like a shower curtain. What are you doing back there?
Well, it's a nice pattern, but it's just like there's so much going on with the colors and all of the Transformers that it's like you need something really simple. And
yeah, I also get the feeling it's a little busy up top. All that stuff going on up there. I can't get a real good look at it, but
some of it looks like it's palmed.
It's a prow holding an American flag.
That prow looks great.
Also, I'm going to give you a little design secret. If you raise that curtain rod up to the ceiling, it's going to make your whole it's going to make it look like you have a hood. though.
That, but is that the Transform Element Prime with the Datsuns around them? I'm not sure or is that just MP10? I guess that's just MP10. I mean, that looks good with the Datsuns around them and stuff. Get rid of the penny racers, get rid of that stuff, clean that up, man, and it looks real sick. I love that. Yeah. You're just working with what you got.
Yeah,
you know?
Agreed. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is Chase, and what a lovely pursuit he must be. My man is working with the open floor plan, but all right, so this is what's crazy. I'm 50. Ooh. I'm hot and cold on this, Robert. So like the Beast Wars shelf is wrong. He needs to pyramid the Beast Wars shelf.
Yeah, pyramid that Pharaoh.
The movie shelf, I kind of like.
This one
the
you
movie
like?
shelf works only because they're all the same color.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Oh, it's a little tight.
Yeah, it is a little tight, but I think it's because they all that looks like a mess anyway. So like having them kind of tight together, I think that works. I think that looks good.
I mean, it's true to form.
And then,
Dude,
yeah, exactly. And then I was going to say this case. So I love that.
Yeah, me too. I initially didn't like it, but then as I was looking at it right now, I'm like, I kind of like this. It's Pharaoh'd a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything's just stacked up appropriately, but like it flows right.
Yeah,
dude. I almost want to tell that guy, get another one of those cases and stack it on top of that one and get rid of the gaming systems.
That might be something. I'll tell you what. I don't even mind the floating shelves with all those Autobots on them. Like the only shelf I hate of his is the Beast Wars shelf.
Black Arachne is screwing it up, right? I see his problem. He's got this. He loves the web that she's on, right? And he wants to display it with her, but she's now effectively, it's like opening up an umbrella at like a concert or a sporting event or in a movie theater. Right. And that's what's going on there. So he's he's got both Megatrons pushed to the side so you can have some room, but she's still visually blocking two much exponentially more beautiful figures.
Well, I would move the purple one over to the left, and then move the smaller ones into the center with the spider web.
Yeah, and the red one's got to go.
And then put them on risers so that the spider web doesn't.
I think the red one's got to go in the middle.
There's a problem. He's got a problem. He's got his Predacons on the right and his.
You're right. But you know what? Just mix them up. Mix them up, Chase.
Oh yeah.
Chase,
I'm here to tell you, Bobby will not mix them up, so don't listen to his.
Well, he's got Iron. What the hell's Iron Man doing there?
He's just hanging out.
That's a problem. That it makes it more confusing.
Yeah, visually. Take Iron Man off of there.
There's visually. This is mixed up, and you can't have a red Iron Man in front of freaking Megatron there. He put Black Arachne on the right because she used to be a Predacon, but so is Dinobot. But he figured he's got to flesh out the numbers on the right because he doesn't have them, and he wants symmetry. But it doesn't work like that. Then maybe you need to put your former Predacons versus Maximal, put them in the middle. Is there a way to affix her to the wall? I mean, because she's a spider and she's got a web. Would that work? Above them all, you know. I personally don't like the case with the cluttered case. That looks like he just.
I like it. It's busy, but it's not hateful. It's kind of busy in the right spirit.
So I gotta agree with Jisk. Like I looked at it and I was like, oh my god, all this mess. And then when I came back and looked at that one, like I zoomed in on it a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay, well.
I'm going on a trip, and I put all my favorite Transformers in a suitcase. I lay it down on the floor. I open up my suitcases, and this is what I see.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, like it's a lot more purposeful than you're giving it credit for. Now, I would say to remove Galvatron. Like I would keep this season 1 and 2.
That's
I would
another
keep.
prop.
I like this. I like this case a lot, and like it actually it encompasses most of your key characters, and it doesn't take up a ton of space, and it looks pretty good.
I think it's just the way that it flows upward. Also, I want to say his Autobot shelf that's floating, if that is not tell everybody that lighting, it makes a world of difference. Like just the way that is lighted.
Or lit.
Oh, that's our. I'm lit.
You're mad.
Just the way that is lit up. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It makes a big difference.
No, but if you're gonna have floating shelves, you can't have the ones with brackets on the bottom.
I agree with. That I agree
with that too.
Unless you're gonna hang your coat on one, hang a tie on another.
Let me tell you. Should he get a thicker shelf or a thinner one?
Thicker. That's too thin too. It looks like a utility. That's a quasi utility with the twirly brackets. It's like an elven utility.
Let me tell you what else he needs to do is get rid of that Autobot symbol, that little Autobot symbol in the middle of it.
So,
He needs to 86 that immediately. Put that with the rest of the characters that were shot and killed in 86.
That came with his like repro label Autobot sheet, and on the sheet it looks gigantic. And you can tell he like picked it up.
If he changed the shelves, I would move Swoop to the center. You know, where he's got Omega on one side, Superior on the other. Move Swoop to the center, and I think he's got a pretty good shelf on his hands.
Okay, but there you go. Now look, in terms of symmetry, it's almost as if he's going like symmetry with mass. So he's got Swoop and Superior on the right, and then Omega on the left because Omega's so much bigger. So is that going to screw up the symmetry of it by throwing Swoop in the middle? Is it going to then be
No,
like
I think it'll be fine.
So I think that even though he kind of has things up and down a little bit, like I think it needs a little more. Like I think he needs a few more
up
risers.
and downs? Yeah, no, I agree.
There needs
I
to
agree.
be a little bit more.
Shout out to Cosmos on the Omega shoulder.
I know, I saw
Mac.
that too.
I got that going on too. I sent you a picture, Bubby.
All right, let's do one more before we call this episode a wrap. This is from Ryan. This is another DTOF. This is classic DTOF problems. Like, this is just, oh, God.
Well, yes and no.
No.
I also think
yeah, it's like every.
No, this
Yeah,
is
there's some good
textbook.
one-
No, this is textbook DTOF problem. They do, look at over here.
But you're right. But like you said, it's the first thing. They're on the floor. They're not lit. They're too crowded. It's like the trifecta of problems.
Yeah.
He's got
And,
a static
and I
door on
think
the
like
floor.
all that's happening on the top is a little bit overwhelming.
Oh, are you sure? And like look at the like
But
every
I mean,
so
not
it's
every shelf. Look at some of these shelves. Look okay. Like this one looks fine. Look at this. Right here.
Scorponok's like,
This
yo, put
looks
my
fine.
friend down, mate.
This looks okay.
like this is
This last DTOF on the right is like, whew.
look, you've got wall space here. You can do wraparound shelves. You need to start over
No,
furniture
you don't
wise.
need to start over.
Furniture wise,
you don't.
you can incorporate these
I think
DTOFs
you can
somehow.
lift them
but
up.
Yeah, lift them up for sure. Get them, spread
Lift
them,
them up by the collar.
spread them apart. Right, they're not all Siamese twins. Do some surgery. Give them some space to breathe. And they're on the ground. And they're overcrowded. And they're cluttered on the top. And they're still not taking advantage of vertical space. And you can't see the ones in the
I feel
back.
like some of
and
them
they're not
are.
lit. Like it's every problem with a DTOF.
Wait a minute.
The
Wait, but
one
also
all
it's
the
just-
way to the right with the extra shelves is just
Is the worst.
way
That's
too
the
much.
worst one. Look at the one on the left, Robert, at the upper shelf. He's got like little MicroMasters on a custom shelf at the top. Like it's too much, dude. You're doing
That's
too much.
perfect. No.
You're doing
He's-
too much.
You know what? No, this guy is proud of that because he's like, I'm using the vertical space. What do you think about what figures he's like the placement? Like stuff is just mixed. Some of it seems purposeful, but then you've got like he's got on the bottom middle Mind Wipe with the Zeta cone heads. Is
Yeah.
that Zeta or the
Yeah,
Tara?
no, I think
There's
it's-
not one shelf here that's situated. Look at the Beast Wars.
Is that
I-
Utopia?
Look at the Beast Wars one, and he's got a Cheetor half transformed laying in the bottom of it with all the accessories laying in the
that's my
front.
bag.
You're
That's my
doing
bag.
too much. Take
that's good.
all of that out. Less is more, my guy. Get the accessories off the
yeah,
shelf.
accessories off the shelf. For
Yeah.
sure. I think.
No,
that,
I understand the issue there. No, that's an interesting issue. That's something that I think we all experience because it takes time. You get in discipline. You've got to organize your accessories because you don't want. He obviously isn't a box collector because otherwise you keep them in the box and then organize your boxes. But you've got to have a system, some type of filing system with sandwich bags or something, and label them and put your accessories in there. And I mean, if you have the time, you could figure out how to alphabetically organize that. But that's a pain in the butt. But it's better than having them on the shelf. But I mean, look at the 6-shot and the Skating Prime. See what he did there? He's trying to pose them dynamically, but that's a typical issue where it looks like his vantage point from wherever he sits is off to the right. Like he's having the
right.
6-shot.
So he can
Look
see
at
him from where
him.
he's sitting.
Like, and look, I mean, he obviously the figure's going from left to right, but should you display your bots based on your normal vantage point or from a straight on perspective?
I guess from your vantage point, but
I do feel like he's tried to pose them.
I agree. He has
Okay.
tried to pose them.
And so he just needs to do more of that, and he
Or
needs to
with less of them.
Yeah, less of
Wait a
them for
minute.
sure.
Is that Destro?
It looks like a
him.
Doctor
Destro.
Doom?
It's a waterhead baby Destro.
What's with the? It looks like a 3-eyed smiling ant monster on the left of Destro. Like, what do you got there, dude? Like, you don't need the clutter, man.
Yeah,
Trust
he needs
me.
to declutter. Put the accessories away. Yeah, split this stuff up.
Get yourself a banker's box or a filing box with like the vertical separators alphabetized.
Yeah.
And get a couple boxes of sandwich bags, different sizes, small and like quart, and then get a Sharpie. And then you just put the accessories in the sandwich bag, label it, and put it in that alphabetized section.
I think
you'll fill it up, you'll feel great. And then if you need
Bobby's are not
accessories,
alphabetized.
That's true. I think that
mine aren't either, but I know how to organize, but I'm also lazy.
I think that a lot of people think that we just bash DTOFs, but we just saw DTOFs recently that we praised, and this is what we think of collectively when we think of a Transformers display in DTOFs, and this is messy. It's messy and sloppy and unfinished, and you think just because it's glass that it presents well, and the truth is it doesn't. And I hate to say it. I know you hate to hear it.
He loves to say it.
But I wanted two people to know it's like we're not just. I mean, I learned this the hard way. That dude's collection was how my collection looked when I bought all the DTOFs and I put it all in it. And I'm like, man, this is not right. So, and you're there, you can still utilize all that stuff, but like that's the thing. It's
agreed.
Listen, if you collect,
we've been there.
If you display in DTOFs like this, you're going to end up abandoning collecting, just like Jisk.
All right.
Artichoke in a jacket.
A soft steamed bun. Something that gets damaged easily.
I want your DTOF with Robert's battery in there.
How about a ragdoll cat?
The flex capacitor sandwich.
That's
Bobby's.
You know what? That probably is good.
What is
Dude,
that?
I think it's perfect.
Like on the
What is
PB&J.